Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Learn Kitchen Live. My name is Colleen, and I'm one of the dietitians here at Community Servings. And just as a reminder to anyone who may be watching at home, there will be a link to the recipe posted in the comments at the end of today's episode. So today we are going to be making a strawberry tabbouleh salad. And tabbouleh is a traditional Middle Eastern herb salad, but we're putting a little bit of a fun spin on things today by adding in the strawberry instead of tomatoes. So typically, a tabbouleh salad would consist of some fresh herbs such as parsley, a whole grain like bulgur, and then your cucumber, onion, and tomato. But like I said, we're swapping out with the strawberries today to add a little bit of sweetness and just a nice refreshing flavor. I've also decided to use quinoa instead of bulgur just to save a little bit of time. So this was 1 cup of dry quinoa. I got the rainbow quinoa variety at the store. So this is the white, red, and black quinoa just for a little bit of extra color. You can use whatever variety you prefer. So 1 cup of dry plus about 1.5 cups of water, and I just let that simmer on the stove until all of the liquid was absorbed. This is something you could also prepare the night ahead of time so that you can just chill it in your refrigerator overnight so it's ready to go when you're ready to assemble your salad. You do want your quinoa to be chilled or at least cooled down to room temperature before you start assembling things. But let's go ahead and start mixing our salad together. So I will add this 2 cups of cooked quinoa into my strawberries. I have about a pound of strawberries that I already sliced up. In addition to how quick and easy quinoa is to cook, I like using it because of some of the nutrition benefits too. So it actually has a little bit more protein than bulgur, and it's a little bit lower in total carbohydrate than bulgur too. So some added benefits there. And I'm also going to add in my pre-cut cucumber and very thinly sliced red onion. So I have about 1/4 of one whole red onion that I sliced up pretty thin. Nothing worse than biting into a huge slice of red onion in your tabbouleh salad. So make sure that that's finely chopped. We're already almost halfway done with our recipe. So the shining star of this recipe really is the herbs, and I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about those today. So we have parsley, and we also have some fresh mint. This is what mint looks like if you were to pick it out of the ground. And I'm someone who cannot keep anything alive at home, but this grows like a weed. So it's a very low maintenance plant to start off with if you're looking for some sort of herb to garden. The way that you know it's ready to pick is if the leaves are nice and bright green like this. They've grown to their full size and they don't have any blemishes or black spots in them. So whether you're picking mint up at the store or picking it from your garden, that's what you would want to look for. But sun, shade, indoors, outdoors, it takes off really easily, so it's pretty easy to grow at home. There's a lot of different ways that you could cut this. I'm going to show you my favorite way, which is just to kind of stack all of the leaves on top of each other. Efficiency is always what we're looking for in the kitchen. So if you can spend less time chopping, that's always a win-win. Stack all of these on top of each other and then actually roll them up. That way, when I slice it lengthwise and begin cutting, it creates these nice confetti strips of herbs. I have a whole stack of mint that was sliced up in a matter of seconds. So I'll add that to the rest of the mint that I pre-chopped. The other shining star of this recipe is our parsley. So parsley is actually part of the carrot family, and there's a couple of different varieties that you might see in the store. There's curly parsley, which is typically used as a garnish, or this is called flat leaf parsley or Italian parsley. And this is typically used in cooking because it provides more flavor and it's just, yeah, typically more flavorful than using the curly parsley. So I have some here that I've already cut, and I'm just going to show you how to cut some additional parsley as well. It's a powerhouse in terms of nutrition because 1 cup of parsley gives you 20 times the amount of vitamin K that you need in any given day. So this is really going to help with heart health, particularly coagulation and bone health. So 1 cup of parsley going into this recipe, again, providing a lot of nutrition benefits. No right or wrong way to cut this. I probably wouldn't roll it up like the mint because the leaves are so small, but I like to just kind of take it in bunches and begin chopping. Another thing I love about this recipe is it gives you 4 milligrams of iron per serving. For a lot of us, we typically think of iron to be associated with meat, but leafy greens are also a really good source of iron. So that's where a lot of this is coming from in this recipe. You're also getting some from the quinoa. So a couple of good health benefits from these nutrients in this recipe. I will say probably the worst thing about cutting parsley is just that it all gets stuck to your fingers. So I'm going to rinse that off real quick, and then we'll combine everything together. If you decide to grow parsley at home, it does take a little bit more TLC than mint. It likes a lot of sunlight, and you need to plant it about a month before the last frost of the season just to give it time to grow. But again, if you're able to just pick some up at the store, it is a pretty easily accessible herb. So that's another option for you too. So we're going to combine everything into our salad. About a full cup of chopped parsley. Some that I cut a little bit earlier to save time. And then our mint. And I think the mint really complements the strawberry flavor well by adding that refreshing taste. All we have left to do now is just whisk together our dressing, and we're set to go. So the dressing for this recipe is about 4 tablespoons of olive oil. I have 2 to 3 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of red wine vinegar, and then I'm just going to add in a dash of salt and pepper. If you want to include some additional spices, this is where I would do it, but you're getting a lot of flavor from the fresh herbs in this recipe, so it doesn't really need anything. Together with our salad, and we're good to go. We talked a little bit about some of the nutrition benefits of the quinoa and the parsley and some of these individual ingredients. And if you've watched any of my episodes before, you know that I'm always looking for diabetes friendly recipes, so a little bit lower in total carbohydrates. And this recipe gives you less than 30 grams of total carbs per serving, which is a great number to be looking for if you're someone living with diabetes. So I hope that you give this a try. This is a wonderful base recipe for spring. Now that picnic season is coming around the corner, you could take this to a gathering, prepare it ahead of time. If you wanted to add in some goat cheese or feta cheese or slivered almonds, pistachios to give it a little bit of a crunch, those are some additional just as is. So thank you so much for joining us this week on Learning Kitchen Live. I hope that you give this recipe a try at home, and if you do,